Howdy homies, it's your buddy James here with Rewind Electric. Sorry, I got these bobbins here. You'll see I'm doing some set for my friend Ed A. A lot of people know Ed. And also prototyping a new version of the creme brulees. So you heard that first. No one else knows that yet. Unofficial piece of information there. Let's crack back into the mail. Guys, there's something even more exciting coming up than that Cooper. So stick with me here if you care about cool vintage stuff. These are Scotch-Brite pads in different grades of abrasiveness. I don't think I really need to open them beyond that to show you. Okay, this is something from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Don't actually know what. Let's find out. Oh, I know what this is. I think it's related to this. So this is a return slip for the last Bumblebee that we measured in the previous video. It was sold with a photo of one that had the metal tube and stated to read 0.025 microfarads. However, it ended up reading between 0.038 and 0.046, depending how you measured it. Basically double what it was supposed to. Now, after I bought that one, but before it arrived, the seller had mentioned having another one in the ad, so I reached out and said, hey, do you have another? And he said this one reads 0.026. Okay, so here is one with the filler tube. Okay, so far so good. Let's see, does it read 0.026? Or is this going to be two returns to the same seller who is having some trouble with his listings and his capacitance meter? 26.7 microfarads. That's fine. 0.7 microfarads difference is close enough. I am not going to hold him accountable for that. That's great. I hope he's got another one. We'll let that first one go. I don't know why I'm wrapping this back up. This is a keeper. I'll put it up here with the other Bumblebees. Actually, what I'm going to do first is straighten that leg. Oh, I did a house call yesterday for a local client, and I took a bunch of my commonly used tools with me in a bag. So just like an old doctor would. So I'm missing some of my favorite tools here on the bench at the moment. I have to go retrieve them and put them back. He and I worked out a trade. He's got two very nice PRS guitars that he wants voiced. So pickups, harnesses, and set up. One's a floating non-locking trim, one's a hardtail. And he's decided he's more of a PRS slim neck guy. And he has a Les Paul with a really fat neck, which is also really lightweight, which I happen to like. It is such a comfortable Les Paul, so we're doing a little partial trade there. Maybe a straight trade. We'll see how it goes. Okay, this is the Space Echo repair kit from EchoFix. So this is like the full kit with all the capacitors for a full recap. New bearings, capstans, springs, bushings, idler wheels, dry wheel. Looks like there's a variable capacitor or choke of some sort here. I think it's a choke. More bearings, trimmer pots, some grease, and then 2 spools of fresh tape. So, if you didn't see the previous video where I show off my new Space Echo that I got from my good friend Justin Stabler. Shout out. Thank you again, Justin. I'm so happy to have that. I'm so happy that it came from you. This will be the restoration video in a box right here, so I'll get to that. Okay, guys, thank you for holding in there. If you made it this far, you're a champion, and you will be rewarded now. What I have in here is something I've never, ever once seen in my whole life, and it was an absolute serendipitous miracle that I was able to get this. As you guys know, I had recently purchased an original 1959 ABR-1 and tail and bushings and studs and thumb wheels and posts. In fact, 2 sets of thumb wheels and posts. I got another one coming. Figured I'd pick my favorites. But that bridge that I bought did not, it had very nice saddles that it came with, but it did not have original saddles. Of course, all the original ABR-1 saddles that I've ever seen have, you know, a couple slots in them. They're really worn down. They've been reslotted for different gauge strings. They've been flipped around. The whole bridge has been flipped around and then reslotted. And they're basically none out there originals that aren't a mess, or you know, at least like at the best, you're only going to find them with a very large, I think 11 gauge, maybe 12, and a wound 4th string, because a wound 4th string, so the G string wound, because that's what Gibson shipped their Les Pauls with. So if you have an original ABR-1, you basically can't have original saddles that are, and you know, unless you play 12s, 13s, whatever they were, 14s with a wound G string, you're not going to have playable vintage saddles. They're going to be too big for your strings. Except me, because what I have here from a known vintage parts dealer who I've worked with successfully before and I trust, I have probably the world's only set of new old stock 1950s nickel Gibson ABR-1 saddles, unslotted, unused, yet real and vintage. And he even threw in an intonation screw, because one of the screws on my vintage ABR-1 had a later nickel screw from a wired ABR-1 put on. The original, no doubt, fell out and was lost at some point. So now I have that bridge absolutely complete with new old stock burst saddles. It is absurd. I've never in my life seen these. How cool is that? I gotta put these in a bag. And I'll put those into the bridge once we close this down. Oh my, oh my. No note, but let's see what's in the newspaper. I don't know what this is. Fall review. Cartoon caption. Ooh, there's a cartoon. I don't know. Oh, one of the musicians, the harpist, went through the clouds. Whoops. Those harps are heavy. I know a harp player here in town. She's good. She plays a number of instruments, actually. Her whole family does. All right. That's it. Everybody have a joyous, in fact, have a string joyous day. Okay. All right. Bye-bye. Guys, one more time here. Look. New old stock. Unslotted. 1959. Nickel. Gibson. ABR-1 saddles. And an intonation screw. Unbelievable, right? Absolutely amazing. Wonderful. Okay. Good night, guys. Have a good one.